Hi, everyone. My name is Pablo Hidalgo. I am one of the assistant directors here at the Career Center. And today we're going to do a quick overview, a brief overview of the mock interview process that will be happening for spring 2024 for all second year MSW students. Now, maybe some of you have heard of the mock interview. Maybe some of you have already conducted one from the previous year. But today we're going to do a quick breakdown on what that process looks like. We'll start with what is a mock interview, what is the requirement to conduct the mock interview, and then how to make an appointment. Okay. So the first question is, well, what is a mock interview, right? The mock interview is essentially a practice interview, but we kind of treat it as the real thing. Here at the Career Center, we say that it's the dress rehearsal for the real thing. Okay, so how does the mock interview actually look like? Well, it's 20 to 25 minutes of a simulated interview. So your counselor, whoever is going to be conducting the mock interview with you, they're going to be, pretending and simulating as they were the actual employer. And then after those 20, 25 minutes, you're going to break out and maybe do 20, 25 minutes of coaching. Now, the coaching consists of the art of interviewing, looking at some of your answers, paying attention to some of the things that are happening during the interview to help build your confidence for whenever you go on the future interview, right? Now, I know and I recognize many of you are maybe already in leadership positions. Maybe you're already in the role that you want to be in for the rest of your career. We always say that doors can open, opportunities can open. This is really about practicing, articulating your experiences, practicing articulating those initiatives, that nonprofit work, your volunteer experiences, your internship experiences, your professional experiences, being able to really articulate them in an effective way, something that actually makes an impact. Because I know that many of you have so much value to say, and the mock interview is the perfect space to come in and really practice that articulation of those details. Now, last year, the Career Center conducted over 1,400 mock interviews, and many of those actually landed job placement. So this is it's an appointment that we're really passionate about because it is just really it's a mirror, right? It's a mirror that we put on ourselves, like, hey, where can we go grow professionally, right? And that's where our focus is. Our focus is on your professional development. This is about you. Okay, this is about your communication style, and most importantly, this is about the delivery of your own story and experiences. So many of you, as I said, have great experience, have amazing stories. Even the question about, like, why are you pursuing social work? We want to be sure that you can articulate this in a strong and effective way, in a way that's confident, in a way that's humble, but in a way that's going to honestly blow out the competition. When you're interviewing, we want you to blow away the competition. We want you to be those top candidates. We want you to get multiple job offers, right? That's the goal. Now, think of this as preparing for the future interview, right? And many interviews nowadays are either in person, virtual, or a blend, right? You might get the first interview might be virtual, the second interview might be in person. So when you select your interview, you can select either an in-person or a virtual one. Be sure that you recognize which one that you select, and we'll talk about the details as we go, okay? Now, what should you bring to the job interview, or what should you bring to the mock interview? Well, you want to make sure that the job description should be given to you by your field director, by Professor Foilana, or your professor. So there should be a job description that you can pick from that's more relating to your field or your future role or potential roles. And we want to make sure that we have that documentation, right? So you can bring it with you. You can email it to your counselor at least 5 minutes before. But you want to make sure that job description is present with you when you arrive. Number two is going to be your resume, right? So make sure that you have your resume on hand, your most up-to-date resume, right? We don't want to look at a resume that was maybe built 5 years ago. We want to know, you want to see your most up-to-date resume with your most up-to-date experiences. Now, again, make sure if you choose the in-person appointment, you bring that document with you. If you choose a virtual appointment, make sure you email that documentation at least 1 hour before. So again, if your appointment's at 9, you want to make sure that you already submitted or emailed your documentation to the counselor at least 1 hour. So you would then email it at 8 o'clock, or by 8 o'clock, I should say. Okay. So job description, resume, that's what we need in order to conduct a mock interview, and then make it as real as possible as well. Now, I will add this: first impressions absolutely matter. We make judgments on each other in milliseconds, right? So we want to practice this. We want to make sure that this is the dress rehearsal for the real thing. So arrive on time. And now this is both for in person and virtual. If it's in person, you want to make sure that you're checking in with us at least 5 minutes before your appointment start time. So if your appointment again is at 9, you want to be in the office by 8:55. If you choose a virtual appointment, you want to make sure that you're in the waiting room at least 5 minutes before the start of the interview. Okay. And then that's just best practices. You want to make sure that you show up at least 5 to 10 minutes before the start of an interview. Next is going to be dressing professional. Okay, so from at least business casual to business professional, this makes the mock interview feel more real, more serious. And then also, if you don't have professional clothing or if you need to borrow professional clothing for the interview, you can always utilize our career closet. This is at no cost to you. You can rent professional clothing from us, and you can use this for the mock interview, for an actual interview, for a field fair, for a career fair, whatever professional clothing that you need for these professional events. The Career Center is here to offer that resource to you. Number 3 is be prepared. So sometimes we feel like we can go into an interview and just kind of wing it, or because this is a mock interview, we can just wing it. The people that kind of deliver the strongest or have some of the best results of the mock interview is people who prepare their stories, or at least are thinking about, have the top of their mind some of those initiatives, some of those projects they've worked on. So make sure you spend some time before the interview preparing a little bit. What have I done? And what are some things that I've led? What are some things that I've contributed to my team? You want to make sure that those stories are kind of at the top of your mind as we go through the questions with you. And then lastly, be ready to learn, be ready to grow. Take this opportunity as a learning opportunity, right? Our staff is not here to, break you down or to criticize you or to diminish or bring down your confidence. We're here to build you up. Our goal is to have you step into interview spaces and blow out the competition. So we're coming alongside to spend some time and saying, hey, where can we really nail this down? Where can we really strengthen your interview skills? So remember that, right? I know it's a vulnerable space. You're going to get coached, you're going to get looked at, but this is for the sake of building your confidence, okay? Now, the last thing I'll say here is book your appointment now, like ASAP. I'm talking about like the first day of class. The reason I say that is because, as I mentioned, we did 1,400 mock interviews and we're increasing. So interviews fill up fast. They will fill up by the first week, all the way through the end of the semester. So if you don't book an appointment by then, you're not going to have an interview slot. Therefore, you won't be able to get the assignment completed. So, but as soon as you see this video, or as soon as your professor posts this video, make sure you book your appointment now. I can't stress how important it is to make sure that you interview or you slide into a slot as soon as possible. Now, the appointment time that you choose, make sure you keep it. If you're a no-show, right? If you don't show up for the interview without any type of communication, etc., you will not be able to book another mock interview, and therefore you won't be able to complete the assignment. So make sure that you select a slot that you know that you can actually make, that you know that you're not going to be at work or you're not going to be in class and those kind of things. Make sure you select a slot that you can actually make, right? Avoid canceling, avoid a no-show. You want to make sure that the slot that you select, you're going to be there, you're going to show up for the completion of the assignment, because I guarantee you there's several other programs and disciplines that are booking mock interviews at the same time, and they're going to take all those available slots that we have, okay? Now, how do you book your appointment? It's going to be through Handshake. So this is a QR code if you want to take out your phones, and it'll take you to the main login page or to the app. Just use your CBU credentials. You're going to go log into the app. You can go to the Career Center tab, and on there is going to schedule a new appointment. And again, you have the option of choosing a virtual interview or an in-person interview, whichever one that you want to select. And then you can select your counselor, the availability, all those things. And I can't stress this enough, do this as soon as possible, okay? Well, we are excited. We are excited for spring 2024. We're excited to spend some time with you, all of the second-year MSW students. I think this is going to be a very beneficial experience for you to prepare you for the future, to have you step into spaces and be a little bit more confident, okay? And again, the goal is deliver your story in an effective way. What is your story? What are you about? Why are you pursuing your MSW degree. These are things that we need to know. These are things that is a part of your banner of your story. So we're excited to spend some time with you, and we hope that this is a very beneficial experience for you. Take care. We'll see you soon.